But Joe's also signed to next year, so the money worked out. No third party had to come in for Mrazek to move.
There's a hit, an injury. Meanwhile, Rasmussen has it. Bryson's hurt. Rasmussen's shot goes up and out of, or I thought out of play, off the glass at least, and play will continue. But Bryson, who took that hit, lost his helmet and heads down the tunnel. And Rasmussen's going to fight here as he's challenged by Alex Tuch after that hit. Tuch and Rasmussen. Nothing connected so far. Rasmussen off balance and knocked down.
Yeah, taking exception to that hit. Right at the Buffalo Sabres bench. And the Sabres were already riled up with that non-call just before the Wings had scored the goal to make it 6-3. But here's the hit. Bryson goes to play the puck, but he fans on it. And see what happens here is because Bryson fans on it, and I'm not excusing Rasmussen for this, but because he fanned on it, then he had to lean and get lower because now the puck's in front of him. I think if Bryson fires it out in one quick motion, he probably stays higher, and is able to brace himself from the hit. But there was no call on the play by the officials until the two guys, Tuch obviously coming to the aid of his own player and fighting Rasmussen. And you look at these hits at regular speed and you see how they look, and you can see why. There's Bryson. Now he's about to clear it. Fans on it. Oh, then he looks down. He kind of goes down to look for where the puck is, and then he just got absolutely crushed right there. A bigger player against a smaller player that was unable to defend himself, or brace himself, I should say, just because of where that puck ended up in front of him.
And his head wound up at the same height as the ledge of the boards, and that's what knocked the helmet off. So they did not add any extra penalties, no instigators or anything like that. So just 5 minutes for fighting for Tuch and for Rasmussen. And so it stays at 5-on-5. And there's a big hit.
That is a big hit.
On Hall.
Sure, look at Hall.
He got up, wanted to fight.
Yeah, he's about to drop the mitts.
Greenway didn't even see him. This one is bouncing around in front. Krebs couldn't get the shot away. Craig steps out of the zone. Meanwhile, Greenway is wrestling with Comfer behind the play, and they'll both be penalized, and they want to continue, but the linesman is doing his best to keep Greenway away. Well, the temperature rising here in Detroit with a 3-goal difference and some big hits being thrown. And now penalties to both Comfer and Greenway.
Well, the play down low right here, you can see Hall kind of leaning as well. And he did put himself in a bit of a vulnerable spot because he's reaching out and leaning, and he just got crushed shoulder to shoulder right there. And then it looked like he wanted to drop the mitts and go, but Greenway was already gone hunting the puck back. And then Greenway tried on a jam play. Comfer there was trying to defend against him, and Greenway tangled up and got his skates all the way around the waist there of Comfer. And they end up getting minor penalties.
Buffalo number 10, 2-minute minor for roughing and 10-minute misconduct. Detroit number 37, 2 minutes for roughing and a 10-minute misconduct.
All right, so they have misconducts to both of those, and the night is done for Greenway and Comfer. Greenway less than pleased with the officiating, and he says as much on his way to the Sabres bench and down the tunnel. That is game management, as they say, Panger, from the officials, just trying to defuse the situation here. Josh Norris drifting along the boards. Sent behind for Benson. Takes a shoulder and gives a cross-check to Johansson. Meanwhile, there's a wrestling match between Norris and Edmondson, and then Tage Thompson comes over, throws the gloves off, and those two hit the ice quickly. But this isn't stopping. Not yet. This is now turning into 5-on-5. Benson's trying to throw some punches. Some trying to calm things down, some trying to escalate.
Yeah, Norris initiated this.
And now more gloves are off as Shine and Byram late in this have tossed gloves off. Their night, well, was going to be done anyway with the 5-minute majors, but they'll get misconducts on top of that. And Shine with an extra one on Byram. That's going to draw the crowd back to the pile.
That was a wrestling takedown by Shine at the end. They were both going down, and he turned Byron sideways, twirled him over, landed on top. Now the Sabres going to lose this game, but they want to take a chunk out of it.
Fourth and final meeting between these two teams. Benson and Shine being helped away from each other. Let's take a look at how this started.
Well, it started down the left side here with Norris. He made the play. Now keep an eye on this play by Edmondson. He finishes it off, but there was a little shove right there by Norris, and he got it up on the shoulder, and then Edmondson just kind of pushed him down right there, and in came Thompson. And Thompson come to his new centerman's aid right there. Who came in late? Oh, that was Albert Johansson that came in there late, and then this was a late developing scrap right here. Everybody else was eliminated. These were the two guys left over. And the 31-year-old, 8 years in the minors, Dominic Shine, goes Bowen Byram.
That's what they call a yard sale, folks. Dylan Larkin's going to figure out which sticks belong to his teammates. It was Benson and Johansson, two behind the net, that were in their own scrap, and then it kind of spilled over into the other one. And the officials have a lot to sort out. Again, the easy one is Shine and Byram. It's a secondary altercation, so that comes with a game misconduct because it was so late in that, and there was already a fight, if they call it a fight, between Thompson and Edmondson. But anyway, there's only 3 minutes to go in the game, so there are going to be a lot of people hitting the showers here a little bit early.
On the play, number 77 for Detroit is going to have a minor for roughing, and all the other guys going to have a misconduct. Buffalo will have a power play for 2 minutes.
Okay, so they didn't hand out the fighting. Well, they got to hand out the fighting majors on that last one. They didn't have to announce it, I guess. But misconduct's to everybody.
All the other guys.
The end result is a Buffalo power play. Edmondson gets the extra rough. They won't call it a fight with he and Thompson. But the crowd here applauding Shine and Edmondson on their way to the dressing room.
Well, I'm in a good spot right here to listen to the conversation, the intensity. Guys going off the ice. Red Wings players looking. Krebs on the Sabres side.
Hanger, we can barely see you in there on the benches.
I'm trying to keep a low profile. Although I will say this. Here. I got it. There we go. Now I'm on a milk crate.
And you're away from the crossfire. Hanger, you might be able to stretch out on the bench down there because it's going to be a little empty on both sides. Missing, what, 7 guys now that have been sent to the dressing room?
Tell you what, I got to thank Cam Talbot brought this over for me, this milk crate. And it even put a sign on it, Panger's Perch.
Well, this game is taking just a little bit longer than we anticipated with all these penalties, so 1 minute to go. This one forced along the boards. Krebs to the slot. Power able to hold it in. Here's Clifton. That shot goes too high. They battle for it. Sider's going to take a high hit. There'll be more penalties here. Mallenstein was the one that initially went after Sider, and it was Ben Sherratt that came to his aid. And most of the limited players we have left in this game are working their best to be done.
And I think in these situations too, like Mo Sider was kind of a little nonchalant when that happened. You're at this point of the game where we know what the heat that's on, and we know the frustration and what's happened at the end of this game. I would be on my toes and ready for anything.
Yeah.
Be more prepared for somebody popping you. And there's the high shot right there, goes behind the net. Little battle right there, little push, little shove, and then there's a little punch back. But right there, he's kind of got his back towards it. I mean, get faced up right there and get ready.
Number 59, Buffalo, 2 each for roughing. We're going to be playing 4-on-4.
So Mallenstein is the latest Sabre to go. And that's all that's left on the Buffalo bench. 4-on-4 for the last 38.2.
I spent 2 years in the minors, not very far from here in Saginaw, Michigan, playing for the Saginaw Generals. I recognize that kind of bench right there in the old IHL days.
I was interested in the second period back in those days.
Yeah.